mistērijas, slepkavas un neizskaidrojami notikumi. Podcasts Radars.
Welcome to the PodkastsRadars. Or in English, it could be Podcast Radar.
Sure.
Sure, yes. This is a really special episode. I'm going to start with the fact that my name is Robert. Today I'm with my partner in crime.
Hey, Monta.
Monta, yeah. This is our 19th episode. Monta has been with me through all the episodes. And this is a really special episode for us because for the first time ever we are doing this in English. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but thank
Not
God.
for me.
Well, yeah. So thank God for me. There's Monta who can help me if I don't know any words, but it should be good anyway. But as you heard, we are not alone. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes not. And today we have a guest as well. And today with us together is as well Max.
Yes.
Hey,
Welcome.
Max.
Thank you for welcoming me so nicely.
You're officially
in English.
In English, you're officially the first one who is not first guest who's not like Latvian or something. So, yeah.
Cool.
I don't know with what to start. We actually haven't done this. With intro. We haven't done this for a long time. We had a bit of a pause, and now it's a bit confusing to do this all again. So I guess. Max, we are gonna start with you.
All right.
And I guess we start with three things, right?
Oh, yeah.
Three things. So yeah, I'm gonna explain a bit what we usually do in the podcast when we invite the guests. We let them tell three things about themselves. That's how they introduce themselves. So yes, Max, the mic is yours.
Okay. You said this to me before to tell three things about myself, and I don't know what to tell about myself usually. So the easiest things, three things about me. I know you from Sweden from 2 years ago.
Yep.
We did some Erasmus project in a similar time. It was really awesome. I got a cool tattoo afterwards. Oh. And now I'm living in Latvia because there's cool space here. And I want to be here more. Nice. So I think also... Oh man, no, three things. I want to tell a story immediately, but... I will try to not to go into my...
There's gonna be a story that Max will tell us about.
Times.
According to our topic today. Today we're talking about Tinder and the dark side of Tinder, by the way.
Yes.
That's the topic. But one thing that we kind of, I think, forgot to mention is, what is this podcast and what are we even doing here?
What are we doing here?
So yeah, this is we are from Latvia. I don't know, do I mention this or not? But basically, we are Latvian true crime podcast. Usually, we speak about crimes in Latvia and things happening in Latvia. That's what they did. That's what we did in the season first. Now, according to the season 2, we try to look at some things happening outside of the Latvia as well as in this case today. But more or less, just true crime in Latvia and kind of dark side and stuff like that. But yeah, is there anything more we need to add on this topic, Monta?
No, I don't think so. I think you explained it well, but we usually talk about either different types of crime, different types of murders, so serial killers, etc. Also, we like to talk about mysterious events as well.
Yeah.
And kind of what's behind it, yeah?
Yeah, basically, we like to talk about the event, and then we like to look into it, like why it happened, how did it happen exactly, what was the public's response to it, etc. So, yeah, that's what we do here, in general.
In general, yeah. Yeah, returning to the Max.
to the max.
Just
turn it up to the max.
Yeah, we have actually the fourth person in here as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
Edgar is our technical guy.
Do I introduce myself? Hello.
Thanks about Edgar. Do you want to do this or not?
I have a studio, a YouTube channel, and a dog. That's it.
Okay, nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my god, I didn't know this. Where's your dog, man?
At home.
Oh man.
With my parents.
A man as well. Yeah.
Show some pictures sometime.
Yeah, I will send you a picture of my dog.
I have two cats.
Me too. Yeah.
Okay.
Dogs
But
and cats in the house. Everyone's there.
Yep.
no, yeah, but what I want to mention, yes, me and Max met in the Erasmus project. That was the first Erasmus project for me. Was it? It wasn't first one for you, right?
No.
No, yeah, well, it was the first one for me, and it was pretty awesome. But I think what I think was really, I think, kind of cool in a way. The fact that I think you were basically the first person I was talking to in Sweden, and now you are the person that came to the Latvia, like from Netherlands. Because I remember when I came to the Sweden, of course, it was like introduction with each other, right, and stuff like that. But then I went to the sauna, and I think you showed up, or other way around, you were there when I showed up, and then we just started talking, and it was like, hey man, this is like the first person I talked, and she was the
Saunas
one.
are such a good place for meeting people.
You agree, Matt?
To get to know people.
I can't comment.
But yeah, and so that was my first Erasmus, and like right now, basically, I just returned from my second Erasmus. I was in the United Kingdom. Yeah, before that, I was in Sweden. Then I was in Netherlands, where was also Max as well. And
Also
now
training, yeah.
Yeah, training is like 2 parts. And now this Erasmus had actually 3 parts. I was the second part. The third part is happening in Ireland, but it was already full, so I'm not going there.
There's a third part?
No, not in our, but like the
okay.
one that was right now in the United Kingdom.
Okay,
But
okay,
I was on the second one, which was crazy actually. It was interesting, crazy, a bit mentally hard for me, but it was really funny, and I managed to tell about my podcast to some people in there as well. So I had this.
He always does. Did you know I have podcast?
It's like,
How
yeah.
else do people know? Like, yeah.
Check out my mixtape.
Be a rapper, oh, check this. But like, so yeah, and then I just thought, okay, I had to do some episode in English as well, just for them.
Yo.
So
This
yeah,
is for you guys.
yeah, it's this for you guys. If anyone is listening from our camp or whatever, this podcast, big shout out to you. I could give shout outs to my Lithuanian Bralucha Ignas, my buddy Agota, my dream team, 2 Polish duo, Shimon and Olivia. I can't remember everyone's name, but we had like a dream team, which was me, one of the Latvians, 2 Lithuanians, 2 Polish, and it was really funny. We were hitchhiking to the beach one day. It was kind of funny. Also, there was a few other people for me there that helped me a lot. There was 2 Romanian girls, Ivana and Julia, and yeah, what else could I? Sorry, I can't remember all of the names.
You met a lot of good people.
I met a lot of good people. I could go shout out who I remember also: Bill, Monsi, Yanis, Alexandra, Panagotis, Vojta. I think this is. Oh wait, my roomies. Yeah, we were living in a tent. We were like 4 people in the one tent, and my roomies there was a guy Chris from Greece, and then there was 2 Czech girls, Ivcha and Bara. So yeah, a lot of really cool
Wow.
people. And this was like, I think at this time I kind of realized that. I don't know, for me, like, Erasmus is like a completely different world when you go there. Because, like, the first time when I was with you, you know, it was like, pretty cool, right, as you said. And now it's, like, also, like, really wonderful and really awesome people.
So many people are traveling around right now, going to all these projects and setting up all these things together. It's really a network, yeah.
Yeah, so I think if you have a chance to ever go to the Erasmus, please do it. At least, I don't know, that's my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah, yeah, Mont has also been. She hasn't
Yeah.
been, like, in okay, this was training.
It was, yeah, for you it's different. For me it was studies. I was in Prague.
Yeah, for study. Yeah, but this is the way that if you're studying, but even if you're not studying, there's option to go
Yeah.
and learn and work. It's whatever.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
whatever you can choose.
You go to Erasmus as well, right? A couple of times.
Yes, I do. I have been 6 projects already. I'm actually sponsoring Erasmus projects in Latvia. They pay me to go to these projects as well, which is kind of funny. I go there for free and I get paid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Now
it's a
I'm
great
jealous.
system. I'm also doing an Erasmus project right now because it's a good system. Yeah.
I'm just traveling for work real soon. But yeah. Okay, but today we don't talk about Erasmus, we talk about
Tinder.
Tinder.
Oh, yes.
We talk about Tinder. Now, what else I have to... Oh, I know. We had this thing when we... I don't know what it's called in English, but basically Koordināt precizēšana.
Yeah, but we don't do that really anymore because it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
make sense.
Oh yeah, there's like a what's it called? Rubrika in English.
Section, I guess.
Section or something like that. Well,
Section.
we were like sometimes in every episode we were mentioning. No, we were trying to fix something if we messed up in the earlier episode. Like, for example, we make episode and someone comments that it's like a false information. Then
Right.
we do like, okay, we made something wrong. This is the right thing. And so for a long time we didn't do this because nobody was like correcting us. But like a few months ago, no, but like a month ago or something, one of my work colleagues told me that when we did the episode about the theories.
A conspiracy?
Yeah, conspiracy theories. I was talking about lizard people, and there was a guy called David Ike, but he's actually David Icke. He was just like correcting me, like it's
On the
David
name.
Icke.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm just like,
That's it.
so that's it. Basically, I'm saying, okay, fine, I messed up. He's David
Yeah,
Icke. Okay, so this is
Good.
clear. Okay, so now we're clear. Now we're good. Now we can continue with the real topic about.
Of lizard people.
No.
I think you can sometimes call it that as well, your Tinder experience. But so yeah, the Tinder. So,
Yeah.
what's your experience?
What's my experience? Well, it was just, you called out to me, like if I had any stories connected maybe to the subject. And me coming to Latvia last year was also in summer. And people were actually quite fast telling me that I should go date for some reason. I don't know why that happens. And of course, Tinder is always a subject of, something that you can use. And I've used Tinder and I have my experience with it that are not super, because I don't know. So for some people, maybe this works. For me, it was really funny also. But one of the first stories I heard then from a friend, and when I came here, was that it was a friend and a friend's friend. This girl, she went on a date. It was here in Riga, and she went on a date and with this guy, seemed normal guy, went out with him, and in the end, nothing much happened. But they made out. They had shared some kiss, and I was not prepared to learn this about real life situations happening here in Riga, because this freaked me out really bad. But she started to have this rash apparently, went to the doctors, and the doctors found out this rash happens when you have contact with a dead body, basically. And she got this rash from this guy. They investigated then this guy that she got this rash from, because you don't get that randomly. And they found out this guy had 2, I think, dead people in his apartment that he was meeting on Tinder. And yeah, this was the story that came to me and to my ears in last summer when the subject of Tinder came by. This was
Like the fact that
crazy, crazy.
the fact that it happened in Riga, like it's also, at least for me, it's like really interesting because
Yeah,
usually I heard these stories outside of, like, I don't know, USA, Britain maybe, I don't know. And not in my case, but the case that I found out, it was in New Zealand, where something like that happened, what we're gonna mention a bit later. But yeah, that's crazy. I think I have heard about what you told me. I've heard something.
yeah.
But,
I've not heard many people talk about this at all, or I don't think the story is like really out in the open, maybe even, and I don't share it so much with people even.
Monty,
because-
you knew about this story here in Latvia, no? Right? Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's public.
Yeah. Well, if I have to share my experience with Tinder. Well,
How I met serial killer.
I didn't met a serial killer, but yeah, it was kind of funny story. I have never been on Tinder dates though, but it was first I think I was on this Facebook dating app or whatever it was, and I had a match with some kind of girl. We texted a bit, but like it didn't went nowhere. Then I stopped texting her, and then I don't know, after a year maybe, I was like kind of bored, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna install Tinder just for fun. And then later, I matched with the same girl that I matched on a Facebook dating app. It was like the first time I matched with the same person in 2 different dating apps. And I kind of, I was like swiping and I noticed her, and I saw that she has already pressed like on me. Like you can kind of see it on the free version as well. It's blurry, but you can kind of can tell by the picture who is that person. I was like, okay, that's weird, and I pressed yes. I was like, I guess that this is for a laugh or something, because she like recognized me from the previous app, and she was like, oh, the same guy. But I texted her, and I think it turned out she didn't realize I was the same guy.
Wow.
Because I texted her something, and basically I sent her a message. I realized I'm the same guy that we matched like I think a year ago on Facebook. She's like, oh shit, oh no.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, but wow.
And I was like, yeah, I was the guy who usually texted you only when I was drunk, because I don't know, we somehow went to that point. And then she was like, oh, so you're drunk again? I'm like, no, I'm actually not drinking that much. And she's like, oh wow, you're progressing. And I was like, oh shit, I don't want to continue this, basically. And this is a thing where we stopped on a Tinder as well, and like, so that is my kind of funny Tinder story, and this is the best I think I have, because I'm not usually spending that much on Tinder actually. So yeah. What about you? Do you have any special Tinder stories?
Yes, indeed I have. Haven't used Tinder that much, but I kind of hit the jackpot and I met my future husband there. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
We are now engaged.
Oh my God. Yeah. See, like, so many ways. Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. But yeah, I mean, so yeah. I mean, I talked to a couple of guys previously, like before, like I start talking with him. But I mean, I don't think there was like anything of note. So yeah, just like I can tell just that I met my husband, future husband. So.
Now that we end this topic on a good section, no, but on good thought.
Now it's time to ruin it.
Yeah, now we can go to the dark side of the Tinder. Like,
damn.
sometimes things happen really good, and you get something that Monte gets, but sometimes it doesn't do so good, and yeah. And it goes,
English.
But I'm so interested now, actually. Can I ask some question about this?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why do you answer in my place? She's like,
He's running the show, yeah.
I don't know. This is like, yes, you can ask her a question.
Okay, no, but so like you talked a lot before, like until like when you match with your now husband. Did you talk? How did you get to this part where you just really fastly went for a date?
So on Tinder we actually didn't talk that much. I don't think it was even like a full day. Because we just talked a little bit, and then he just gave me his number, and then we continued to talk on WhatsApp. Then we talked for some more. I believe it was like I don't think it was a full month, maybe like 2-3 weeks. Then we met up for the first time.
Okay.
And then a couple of dates later we got together, and then he went and started working in UK. I was then for a while in Latvia. Then I did my Erasmus studies in Prague. Then I went to visit him, and then he came back to Latvia again. And then now we're together and 1 year engaged now.
So Tinder's also been around for quite some time.
It has. I believe it was 2013, something like that.
Oh,
Could
really?
be. I remember when I researched Tinder. It was a while back actually. Yeah. Something like that.
Because I don't know how long it is.
Ancient almost.
Yeah.
by today's standards.
By today's standards.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
So, I guess we can start with the actual episode right now, like the actual topic, or I don't know how to put it, but I think I'm gonna give the mic to the Monte. She will start to tell about Tinder, and then later we are gonna discuss some cases.
Yes.
So,
So before we get into the dark side of Tinder or like dating apps in general, I wanted to talk about like dating app culture in general, because as you know, this is a semi-new phenomenon. Obviously, beforehand, like before these apps and everything, people met mostly, in college, or maybe like, I don't know, through a friend of friends, etc.
Face to face, yeah.
Yeah. So this is kind of a new phenomenon, I would say, and it kind of changed how people meet in general, because and I read this one really nice article, and it explained not explained but like told in detail about told in detail about this difference in how like people met, basically. So they analyzed like an older news article. So when it was like still in paper format only, there was like this section of like notable engagement and weddings, and then the couples there told how they met. And then it was usually, you know, in college or like through a friend or like in a cafe or like whatever, right? And then when dating apps started to appear, then they still like kept this section, and they noticed like increasingly that more and more couples actually meet through dating apps, and it kind of turned out to be like the main way of how people meet in general. So it kind of took over like the whole dating scene. And
is there percentages of like how many people are meeting through online?
I believe I have some like statistics here and there.
Nice.
And then obviously, you know, when this dating culture started to change, it also changed how people like view relationships in general. So obviously it was like this also, you know, in the olden ages, you know, when people just like met up just, you know, casually or whatever, right? But it was less like I would say it was less talked about because, you know, it was frowned upon, right, to have like casual relations. But now partially because of the dating apps and partially because of like today's culture in general, like the hookup culture has really, you know, exploded, right? And you know, people just meet literally to have sex, you know, and like whatever, right? They don't like, you know, get into a relationship or whatever. And this dating app like culture, this has like, you know, expanded upon that, right? Because now than ever it's easier to meet someone new, right? And you can meet like completely new, like complete stranger, like, you know, just have like relations with them or whatever, and then you can just move on with your life, right? And so this is how it has affected in general. So that's what I wanted to talk about in general. And that was like the main like intro idea of like dating apps, like dating app culture in general. And basically that people now more than ever have so many new ways of meeting people that they didn't have previously, you know, because, you know, in the older days, you could like, what you can do, you can meet someone, you know,
it
like
changed our behaviors and our patterns and our thinking, you know, in a lot of ways.
Exactly. Yeah. So now it's you know, you can just like whatever download Tinder like right this instant and, you know, meet someone new in like 2 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's how it changed like the culture in general. And with that, I want to kind of move on slowly into the topic itself. So, you know, obviously for me, you know, it's been great in that sense. I know a lot of other people as well who have met on like Tinder or like any other apps, and they, you know, live happily ever after, basically. But, you know, there's also the bad side, right? The one of the things I like touched upon previously was like the hookup culture, and then, you know, people just, you know, can discard people basically, you know, like
it's kind of using. It's really some fast food industry, right?
Yes.
Idea.
Exactly. Yeah. Great example. And and so obviously with this, you know, as I mentioned before, one of the benefits is like you can meet quite a bit of new people quite fast, right? But that's where also, you know, the bad people come in, right? So that's how they exploit it as well.
Yeah.
So you know, you have on the one side positive, right? You swipe and meet new people, like it's great, you can meet whatever, right? But the other hand, you know, there comes the predators, there comes, you know, the killers, there comes the everything like that, and they use the platform as well to look for their victims. So it's kind of like two-sided coin, right?
Right.
So that's what we're gonna also talk about today as well. We have like a couple of examples, and in here, let me see. I think I had like from USA some statistics. So let me see here. I believe like in USA, 3 in 10 adults use dating apps.
Wait, 3 in 10?
Yeah. So I don't know when this study was done. I think it was like a couple of years back. But so basically you can kind of get the idea. It's, you know, very, very popular to use. And I believe this article, which I looked at, was a couple of years back. So even now, I think it would be even more.
Is this like adults that are single,
Not always.
This is always kind of when there's these percentages and it's like not, you know, I don't know what it exactly represents. The 3 out of 10 seems okay. Okay, but what else is there? What information?
I think it's too low.
I think it's too low. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it was older one, but yeah, that's what I found. So that's one. I don't have like more details on that specific study because it was like one sentence in like the whole article. But I mean there are definitely like studies on this as well, and I found like even like scientific articles as well, like done on this like whole relationships and like how popular is Tinder and like other apps, etc. And then also talking about like the bad sides of dating apps. So in here, quite a bit of people, I think, let me see, there was also like statistics. So a team of researchers across the Netherlands and US found that 42 people with a dating app Tinder profiles were married or in a relationship, but still seeking dates. So and obviously this is one of the problems that I'm referencing, so cheating. So Tinder and like other apps like this make cheating extremely easy, right?
You have websites specifically for cheating, I think.
Yeah, they're also, right? But in Tinder as well, like you can just meet so many people like quite fast, and this just makes it other people like very available, right? So that's also like
because a big number, it's like every second almost. Like almost 50%.
Like otherwise we wouldn't have babies, guys. Like every moment as well on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Need to date.
Yeah, but I mean I don't really like how this like kind of stereotypes people, because I know personally like a lot of people who are on Tinder. They are literally there just meet new people, like new friends, and yes, they might be in a relationship, right? But they don't have like any idea to cheat. They just literally want to talk with new people, right? And there's like this, and I that's why like I'm kind of like looking at this with a grain of salt, because it's like, okay, like you are in a relationship, you're married or whatever, and you're on this app. I don't think it necessarily means you're automatically cheating. I don't like how that puts like a bad spotlight on people who use the app in general. I mean, that's my like, that's my like personal opinion.
But that's a great point.
Yeah, because, you could, I think I've seen also as well, like, when there was like a little time when I was using Tinder, but still, I think I saw like a couple of people that I knew and they were in a relationship, right? Yeah. And you're like, for your first reaction is like, oh my god, like he's on Tinder, like he's cheating on my friend, But I mean, that doesn't necessarily is the case, right?
I was using this app 2 years ago, and I had a lot of friends also using this, but and they were also on there being in a relationship, but also being on Tinder just for months, and just really barely interacting, having really clear story of like, if you're a cool person, interested in these kind of things, could hang out. Like people make friends also through these apps, actually.
I think some people use Tinder for traveling, actually, when they travel to some new places.
Oh, definitely.
Either they want to find a place to stay, or they want someone to just give them excursion through the city, they just found someone texting them. Yeah. We did a kind of similar thing, actually, when we were on our Erasmus. We had this thing that we were separated into groups, and we had to be outside of the camp for 24 hours, for the whole day. And so we were kind of trying to search a place to stay. Of course, we stayed somewhere in not kind of forest, but like basically nature. But our idea was maybe we could found someone on Tinder and get like some house to
it works like this, I think.
And we tried, like one of the girls were just using Tinder and just trying to find someone and text. Well, she had matches and we were texting, but nothing ever came up. But we kind of tried to do the same thing.
Can I come over with like 4 people, right?
Oh yeah, it was like so funny, like 'cause we were like 6 people. So I said 2 Latvians, 2 Lithuanians, and 2 Polish. It's like
I'm not sure
it's gonna be me and 5 people when we want to stay at your place.
Yeah.
Or the other idea, I think, which would be a bit like smarter idea, it's like you don't mention your friends at all. You just, when you are on the spot, then you're like, oh yeah, I just,
these people I just met, like let's go have party.
Like they're my friends. We decided to party together.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know if that would make it through though.
Well, I mean, if you say that there's 6 people, there's less chance that the guy to the girl will say yes.
Yeah.
You know, come team. But it's like if a girl's like, I need a place to find to stay, and she's like saying she's alone, then there's a big chance like he will say yes.
But that's the thing, like, and that's actually the scary thing right here, also, right? Because this happens a lot. Yeah, with if a girl's alone, somehow they can be helped or they are supported easier, and also people, maybe also guys feel like maybe they have to help, you know, if they're someone alone. But with a bigger group, it's like, oh, no way.
Well, I think where the guy's at right now, it's kind of like a kind of red sign or whatever you call it, when like
Red
girls
flag.
like red flag. I'm alone and I need to stay somewhere, and you're like,
Nope.
It sounds weird.
Nope.
Yeah,
Okay.
indeed. Yeah, so yeah, in conclusion to that point, yeah, so obviously, you know, these apps, etc., they make cheating easier, you know, people are accessible, but at the same time, it kind of gives bad rap to the people who are literally, like, using the platform to meet new people, because, you know, see on Tinder and they just assume, like, oh, like, you're here for sex, basically. So, yeah. So that's one issue. Another one is, I don't know if it's like problem, but they phrased it in this article as a problem, basically ghosting. You're aware of what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, they...
Painfully.
So they phrased it like as another like big issue. I mean, it's kind of funny, you know, put like cheating and ghosting in the same box, but like, what? Okay, I mean that's what they went with. So yeah, and obviously, you know, there are like multiple ways of how you can ghost someone. Either it could be, you know, the conversation kind of just naturally, you know, ends. You know, you don't have that connection, Yeah, or also, yeah, you know, the person gets really, you know, too much for you, or, you know, it gets very, like, to the point where you're uncomfortable, then obviously, you know, you block them, or, like, you stop talking to them at all. So, yeah, there are, like, multiple ways how you can ghost. Yeah, basically. Cool. Basically, the more you know. Yeah, and also in here, it's implied that... basically, again, dating apps make ghosting super easy, right?
Yeah.
So in Tinder, what you can do, you can just unmatch or like block, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. So it kind of just you know, even for those people who like went on a couple of dates and like afterwards they can just, you know, unmatch or whatever, you know. And
Yeah, and I think it creates a lot of confusion, right?
Yes.
And sadness, because there's like, what the hell happened?
yeah,
right?
like you never know, like, oh, was it me?
Yeah.
Was it like
Yeah.
something I said? Was it the way, I don't know,
It's
how
like
I
just
looked?
no feedback anymore. It's just,
Yeah.
just experience and it's gone. There's no feedback about what actually, you know, went down
exactly.
there. You have to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's kind of like one of the like bad
Sad.
bad and sad. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, you know, yeah, it's like you will get over it eventually, right? But yeah, it's like that initial.
And I think
Yeah.
I always feel like girls ghost more, but I think actually guys are also massive,
Yes.
right? Because they just go in different focus and they forget about existence of, I don't know, messages or something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and then yeah, that kind of moves me on to the like conclusion of this article. And next point, that this, you know, how they phrased it, the swiping culture. I think it was like pretty epic name, like, swiping culture. Yeah, so yeah, what this means basically is that when you see, like, you know, these tons of profiles, like you swipe and you like, I don't know, like you see hundreds of profiles, it kind of in a way can make you also how to say, not view them as human, because, you know, they see these profiles, like you see so many people and you just get kind of careless as well. Obviously, like not all of people, right? But sometimes it's the case for people. They just, you know, meet so many new people, they just talk, meet or whatever, and, you know, it kind of just becomes like a game to them in a way. Just you know, it's like swiping these profiles. And in here I like the example, but how they compared like this swiping, and it feels no different from the colorful jelly beans raining down their screens when they play Candy Crush. And I was like, damn, that's funny. But
I'm just thinking, how in real life would you swipe this fast, and you just would have to run like across a field of people, like no. Right?
Yeah. So yeah, basically, yeah. Like to make it like shorter point, yeah, people become more insensitive and more like dismissive of like other people, and you know, obviously I didn't even touch upon you know, like in Tinder I don't think it's that bad, because I don't think in Tinder you can send pictures, but like in other apps where you can send pictures, you know, the pictures, you know what I'm referencing. the girl, you know, and that's also that's also a big issue, you know. So yeah, that's definitely not fun to experience. So yeah, that's definitely also one part as well, because you know, in public, right, you wouldn't go and be like, hello.
Like people do this still sometimes, but yeah, it's not very well received.
Yeah, but it's still like, even after it's been, you know, happening for quite a while, still people do it, and I don't understand why guys do it. Like, it literally makes no sense. Like, what are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to impress? Like what is it? Like, what do you think is gonna happen?
Sometimes I feel it's just really basic, primary, like emotions that start to happen with people, especially on this dating scene, you know, where everyone is just like searching for some loving attention and this care, you know, and this whatever, or sex, or, you know, because that's also primal, like super primal. And how can you be more clear, you know, about what is your
send pic. Here I am.
It's so clear. Like, for a guy, maybe this is really like, for a guy, this must be the most clearest thing that they can, you know, message someone, like, because it's perfectly clear message in a way. It's just that girls maybe don't know what to do with that message, and they're just like walking away, and then the guy's like, my primal needs are not being met, bitch. Like, what the fuck? Like, how does that work, you know? Like, I'm being clear.
What do you think about it? From guys' perspective.
Sorry.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, I never understood this. Like...
This is what I have to offer. Yes, no, okay, fine, bye.
Okay, but
Next.
yeah.
Practical, no?
Just filter out like people.
Yeah, because that's also it's also a choice, you know. Like, some people are there to find their husband, but some people are really there for some kind of meat factory, and I cannot judge that, you know.
Obviously,
to be part. I don't know if people want to be part of it. Maybe I want to be part of that. Like, I've been going on Tinder, so meat factory, and you choose to be in the meat factory and to put your pictures on there and to be swiped down. Like, you choose all of that, right? Yeah, I don't know.
Definitely. But so that's the other one of the bad sides of the dating apps in general. And just to conclude, like, that article, in general, like, also I think there was an interesting point as well, that maybe like for you, like, there were some, like, you know, bad experiences, like for people like your friends, like, or whatever, like, you've heard like bad experiences from dating apps, right? So, and for some of these people, and I know some of my friends as well, like, who use these apps, they had like so many bad experiences that they kind of eventually think like that's part of the normal, and then they eventually kind of like drop their standards, like, and it almost becomes to a like absurd point, like, oh, he doesn't cheat, he's perfect, like. And it's just like, I hear sometimes like my friends or like, you know, other people, like I just talk with, like in general, like, oh my god, like, he doesn't cheat, like, that's so good. And I'm just like,
wait, what?
That's the basic. What do you mean that's like good? It shouldn't be like good, it should be like basic, right? Like, to be loyal and, you know, trust the other person.
Yeah.
But like for them, they had like so many bad experiences that they're like, even, oh my god, he like doesn't call me like names, oh my god, he like doesn't cheat, like, that's perfect for me. And it just like blows my mind, honestly. Like, that some people, like, their standards like to the floor, like, basically. So
I think in general, people are a bit figuring out what kind of relationships at least they want, but I have also been very confused of friends telling me, like guy friends telling me how their girlfriend was treating them sometimes and threatening them, you know, emotionally, kind of, oh, if you do this, I will,
The ultimatums, like
a lot of ultimatums towards the person, and then it's like, I always think that's this pain, like someone feels like this unlovingness, or they don't feel good about themselves, and this other person is their safety, it's this with dating, with relationships, this other person is the person that can give you love, and that's kind of for people, I think, a very basic thing to experience or to be able to experience. And if that's being threatened to go away, right, it's like shit can go crazy. And I see now also with this Tinder and people dating so much that everyone is looking for the specific type of love almost. And if there's the chance that it will be taken away, people start to act crazy. And now it's just we're in this crazy chaos where people are all searching for this specific, person or type of love, or
exactly,
or whatever. Yeah, it's a mess out there, and you have to get out. This is why I wanted to tell this. You have to get, I think, with your friends, discovering these kind of things that are really not cool, like cheating maybe, but discovering that it's not what you want, and that there is people out there probably also who are, not finding that cool. And that there is, also now this sea of possibilities.
Exactly.
It's connecting all these dots a bit.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts on that topic, like dating apps, like in general?
No, I think the only thought that I had was when you mentioned about your friends, or when people have these low standards, you know, when you said just like, oh, he's not cheating, he's like kind of like
He's like perfect.
Yes. My first thought about this topic was like, it kind of shows maybe how actually bad the situation is, or how low the situation is, or maybe like in a general, because like, okay, as you said, for some people it's like they get really good match and it's lucky and stuff like that, but for like a lot of times actually when you think normal is when it's not cheating, then man, I think the situation is bad and sad.
Yes, I agree.
That was the first thought I had. Continue.
Yeah, exactly. And just to kind of finish off like the intro section, and talking about like why dating apps can be both good and bad at the same time. He sent me a video about basically an investigation. So ABC News did like an investigation of Tinder, and they had like this, huge headline, like the dark side of the dating apps, like, the scary one, you get the clicks, right? But actually it was a really good documentary. I watched it all, and I just kind of took some main points from that, because it was like 40-50 minutes, so it was quite long. So I, obviously I won't tell everything that was there. We will put like the link in our Facebook, so you can go watch the documentary yourself if you want. And so basically this investigation, what they did is they asked for people who had uncomfortable or like scary or straight up illegal, activities happen to them because of their like dating, because of their date from the dating app. So in this case, it was specifically focusing on Tinder. Okay. And there were a couple of like interesting points that I found from this video. And did you know actually that Tinder is the most profitable non-gaming app in the App Store? Actually, I didn't know that.
Me neither.
And it is like super profitable. I didn't even realize, but because of the like the premiums and the matching stuff,
something
like
gold, something with
gold,
and,
platinum, like whatever, like those tiers. I don't know them from like the top of my head, but like the other features that you can buy as well, and they earn like crazy profits. It's like insane actually. How much the money they earn from this, and I was like blown away. Actually, they gave in the video like specific number. I don't remember. As I mentioned, you can go look at the documentary yourself. But just the fact that it is like most profitable app, like non-gaming one, it's like crazy. And I believe they even said that I don't know if still. I think maybe like still, because Netflix is kind of like on the down low. Maybe you have heard the news, like their subscriptions are going woo, like down the drain. They even earn more from the subscriptions than Netflix. That was like kind of wild.
Are you serious?
I mean, that was a documentary. I'm literally telling what they
love
like.
Is really a good market.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I actually also found out that I didn't know this. I thought that like Tinder was like a standalone company, but turns out they're part of a parent company called Match Group. And maybe you heard of these other apps they own as well. So they have like OkCupid, they have Hinge, and they have Plenty of Fish. If you have heard like those.
Plenty of Fish. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
those
don't know
are
this
like.
app. It's just a name already. Like yeah.
Yeah,
this is the
basically, I
thing,
haven't
this is
used
the
as well.
mindset.
I just.
Oh, I got it. Plenty of fish.
Yeah, but that's an app. But yeah, basically they are part of this parent company called Match Group, and they own like these other like popular dating apps, and basically they earn like a lot. They are like crazy earn.
So they're basically selling love to people, right?
Yeah, so they're
Which
selling
people
the
can do on their
concept
own, but they are
of it.
providing the platform, and people pay for this platform, which they can find what they want.
Yeah, exactly, and they earn so much money from it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
What a
kind of
market.
like mind-boggling. To think about.
Incredible.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was watching, I was like, what? I obviously I knew that they earned money, right? But I didn't know how much.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And obviously, during like pandemic and COVID, it exploded even more, right?
Yeah.
So they kind of like they have like major profits.
What do you think if people would know, like really, just openly about that this is maybe one of most profitable apps, that is non-gaming? Like, do you think this knowledge is available for people, and do you think people think about this at all?
I think like the average, person who uses like Tinder or whatever, I mean, obviously they're aware of, like the features on the app, they constantly spam you with like buy this subscription. So obviously, average people knows that they earn like money from it, right? But like I may be also catching now a bad side of it, because it is maybe so, big and so huge, because people, want to have this service. Right now. Exactly.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be so huge.
Yeah, and it's become so mainstream, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know anybody who doesn't know what Tinder is. I mean, pretty much. Even if they haven't used it, they still know what it is. So, so it was like very like crazy to learn that, and basically. What this documentary was about, that multiple women, specifically in this case, shared their stories about the experiences they went through with their Tinder dates. And in this specific documentary, it was more focused on rape, specifically. So multiple women told about like their Tinder dates, how they went on Tinder date and it went south, and they got raped, and the experience with that. And so they had like each of their own experiences, how it happened exactly, but one thing in common with all of the stories was basically Tinder's failure to kind of like pay attention to the reports, because in Tinder there's like this option to report profiles, I believe, and basically they all reported this to Tinder. And they basically didn't do anything. Like, they just sent the automatic message, like, thank you for submitting, like, we'll look into this. But they never got any follow-ups, not anything back.
That's nasty.
So, yeah. And
useless.
Yeah, and the women in there, like, kind of felt, powerless, right?
Yeah.
Because, in their specific cases, they only talked on Tinder with these people, and after the incident, they just unmatched and blocked them, and they had no way of proving that that this person even existed. So they kind of are stuck, and they can't do anything. And obviously, the only thing they can do is go to the police, right? But then again, what can they do? They do not have evidence.
Exactly.
That's insane. But Tinder isn't providing this information back, or not cooperating, or is it
with the police?
Does it get solved?
So there was this also, like, I don't know, he was like the chief of police or something like that, and he said that he in his experience working with Tinder in particular, has been really, really difficult to get information from them, because I believe now you can have like ID verification, have like the check mark or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But this was like a couple of years old, and I believe then it didn't have. So basically, what you need to have to register on Tinder is like your phone number and your email. And basically, you're untraceable there. And delete your profile or whatever, and then just make a new one, and with like different pictures, different name, and you're basically like a new person. So yeah, it was kind of like focusing on like Tinder's like kind of like how they're not even paying attention
and how to verify you're
you're
the person that you say you are.
Yeah, exactly.
But also with this, like I can also imagine with police and these kind of cases, people also are going crazy with reporting. Maybe there's also this Johnny Depp Amber Heard subject also of correlates in a way that. Tinder also has to be careful with providing information because you don't know what has happened, but it should be possible to look back at least for crimes. So it was like kind of like crazy to think about, but then again, another point which I thought of when I was like listening to these women's stories, most of these women, it was like either on the first encounter or like their second or third encounter, and most of them so one of them happened in the car, one of them was like, and two of them actually happened in his like apartment, and the fourth one was like at the attempt, and she managed to escape. They were in like a public place. And I was thinking like just except like that last lady who was in the public place, I was like thinking like, how can you go to someone's place already on the second date? Like, that's dangerous. Like, this person for a very short amount of time. Yeah.
And you already go to his place and, like, you're all alone there. Like, that's not safe. Why do you put yourself in that situation? And also with the girl who was with the car, she basically, like, just sat in his car and they drove to the woods, He threw out her phone and then, he raped her in the car. And then afterwards, what he did, he just dropped her out her house. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah, so I was like, what the hell?
That's actually a lot. I mean, I think usually in these cases, they just leave the woman in the forest or something.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah, but he brought her back. But that was...
It's still a thing
blows
weird.
My mind.
Yeah,
about it still. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, I don't know, like I don't want to blame the women, right? That this happened to them. It's horrible, obviously, right? You would never want that to happen to your like worst enemy.
Yeah.
But again, there's talk about like the safety, right? And meeting new people from internet, like basically internet safety, in general.
I think it because for me as well. Also, it seems really. Unbelievable sometimes that people could be in a state to do this to another person, right? And I think also for me personally, I think I would not, and I've experienced myself with people, but I see that it's coming also from pain, I don't know, cannot really say much about it right now maybe, but
are you talking right now about like the guys?
That to get to this, like from the women's perspective, to be kind of oblivious that this is a possibility that could even happen, because who in their mind, would do that to someone? Maybe, like it's just, like it's really not, it doesn't come up, right? To think about this and to think about someone who is thinking about doing this and planning it and, having a plan to go through with that. It's like it goes so out of context already for my brain.
Well, yeah, we have tried to look at these kind of situations, I guess, about criminals, and there's a lot of times there's something in the past that's just not always though, but a lot of times there's just something happens in the past, and then they get the guy who is criminal to be, just something happens in his mind and something goes wrong and he becomes criminal.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is it's not always the case. It's like you can't put it in one bag that people who have bad childhood they're like
of course not, no,
be in always criminals or something. There's cases when actually people who have really good grades in the school, when they're like really smart, they turn to be criminals as well at some point. This is This is a lot of times it is in childhood.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because during this podcast we have just like
Yeah, we have looked into like you know.
a lot of cases, and we just find it out like, oh yeah, just,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
guys.
Something happening.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can kind of start driving like parallels.
Because it's our way of connecting to people, right? It begins in the childhood, how we connect to people and how we.
Yeah, I think a lot of times it's mother and son relationship. Honestly, as well, it's like really important, and if
Yeah.
something
Happens in that.
happens in there, yeah, not something that good. If like I don't know, mother leaves the son for some reason in a really early age or something like that, and then the son, the boy can be really angry, or maybe he could just hate the woman just because of that fact, and I don't know. They're like it's hard to kind of like explain
Yeah.
all of this, but
And it's very
there's
very
these kind of
individually,
situations.
right? And it's
Yeah.
very always specific for.
Yeah, but that's like one of the things that we try to acknowledge is that try to understand the try to understand the criminal as well. And sometimes, or a lot of times, there's just something psychology problem behind it, and that's it. It's like sometimes those people don't even understand what they are doing or something.
Right, but that's also then. It's at some moment it gets to this point, right? Like, okay, it's like from childhood, for example, like it gets to this conclusion, right? Okay, this weird stuff is happening because of this growing up, and then it's like, okay, that's the story, and we kind of leave it, right? But then it's like, wait, but how? If we don't want these, criminals in future doing these kind of acts,
happen, yes.
then what is now happening in the world right now? What like how moms interact with their children, like then there should be focus on that probably. Like this is my mind of thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you then want to not have these problems or these podcasts about true crimes happening, in real life, if you don't want to have that in 30 years, then now have to support a connection of moms and children and dads and children and
But I
people
think
and children and
I think some organizations are trying to do that, but the thing is that like not all of the people are willing to cooperate with these organizations. I think sometimes
obviously.
people are like, oh no, our relationship is great, or like we don't need this thing to help fix our relationship. It's just I don't know the life situation we are right now at this point, and it's just okay, fine. It's just how it goes. Like
no, that's also everything is just as it is, right? And it's just not saying to fix something, but I think the focus on not fixing something or something needs to be better, but just that there is the space for the connection to happen with these children. I don't know. I saw this documentary about this. I think parents are being helped with their children to have a safe connection with them, because also these parents didn't have that from their parents and their moms. And what basically happens, there's this person coming in, and this person comes and spends time with this new mom and their child, because this mom just doesn't know how to spend safe, nice time with a child. They don't know what to do, right, with the child. They don't know how to give it comforting attention. So this person is just coming in and being there with them and helping them to create this kind of bond. And that's, I think, that's for me coming up now. That's connected to this. But a lot of people really don't know, and they feel shamed about it also. Like if you don't feel that you can connect to your child, how would you even maybe start to talk about that? Because then you're a bad parent, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so much judgment already from all the sides. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But supporting this is, I don't know, I think a good cause.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, there was like a really nice quote that I heard in like some other video, but I don't remember like how it went specifically. But basically, it was like about why like criminals, do what they do, and basically like it was like the nature puts the gun in their hand and nurture pulls the trigger, right? So the idea behind it was like, there are like factors which, could, contribute to the fact that you could do these things. But if we add on top of it, like bad relationships with your family, like bad life experiences, then it actually is the trigger that makes you pull the trigger.
Right.
So, so I think that was like a good example. So, yeah.
Nurture it. Wait, can you say that one more time?
Yeah, like maybe you have heard like this like old, like I don't know, philosophical debate, I guess, like nature versus nurture.
Oh, okay, this
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically that was referencing to that. So like
Okay.
nature, obviously, it's on your genetics, your like
Mm.
stuff like that, and you know,
Nurture's
nurture
the
is like
trigger.
your relationships. Yeah, so
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I like the trigger. The nurture is the trigger part. I don't know, that's a cool sentence.
yeah, that's why like I tried to remember it
Yeah,
like
yeah.
precisely, but yeah, I thought it was like a cool idea that kind of encapsulates everything that we talked about here today. So yeah, that was like kind of like what I wanted to bring on from my side. So yeah, so just like conclude, yeah, there are good things about, you know, dating apps and Tinder or whatever, and then, you know, there are bad things which, you know, bad people will exploit. So remember, kids, be safe. Don't trust anyone at like immediately which you meet on internet, and no matter how nice they seem at the start. And yeah, just always be safe. You know, I think like good idea always is like if you meet someone from Tinder, like, and you want to meet up, obviously always do it in a public place first. Never meet someone at the privacy of their homes or whatever, right? Always meet, like the first times definitely in you know, public, so you know how you have that safety, you know, in case something would happen. So and also one good idea, I think that as well, before you meet that person, make sure that you have like some sort of way of identifying them. So for example, like their phone number, maybe you can add them on Facebook or like other profiles, like just to make sure that you have something to reference to, because you know, as I talked about these women, right,
And
they didn't have any.
Yeah, and I always tell one friend at least where I'm going
Yes.
and who I'm gonna meet.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's also good.
I wanted to mention something similar, more like a question. Would it work like from girl perspective that you go to this date together with a friend or something? You know.
I mean, technically, there shouldn't be a problem. I think from like at least a guy's perspective, right? Especially at first date, you know, like the girl tells you, okay, I'm like scared or uncomfortable. Like, can I come with a friend?
But I mean, let's say, okay, I don't know if it matters really much, but let's say the friend is also a girl, for example. I don't know.
I think that creates some
No, I mean, I just thought it was, I don't know. My first thought would be if like girl says I'm gonna bring my friend, then it would be like another girl. That's just why. Now I just thought about there's always could be a guy, but then it makes it a bit weird. I think for me, like if I would go to the date, I would meet a girl and there would be another guy there, I would be like, this is a bit like a bit uncomfortable, like, because like if I do something wrong, things may go wrong. Like even accidentally or something, but then
Maybe
I
there
thought,
should be a new app for group dating. Like you
Oh.
bring always one
Oh,
friend
yeah.
at least. You know, you go hang out and you're not isolating yourself with just two of you, because it's just shitty and awkward, and you don't know if the other guy is some weird, you know, rapist or the girl is some psycho bitch.
yeah.
You know, like I don't know. Sorry for these terms.
Yeah, it's okay. Because I thought about this
But
idea.
then then you have some reference, have some more people around, and you can still
Yeah.
go on your dates. But I don't know. People are probably too. How do you say?
What?
Shy to date with. I don't think that would work actually. No.
No, I had this thought. I had this idea that if the guy is like, I don't know, serial killer or whatever, some kind of criminal, it's always gonna be harder if there's like two people instead of one. And if there's two people, there's someone that could call help, and it can. We had one case when the guy was. He met two girls on a Jurmala beach restaurant somewhere, but it was like 70s, 80s, something like that. And he was walking with two girls on the beach, and his idea was to rape both of them. He managed to rape only one of them, I think. The other one escaped, and later the other one actually was a really important.
In identifying.
Identifying the actual killer, because she like saw him in eyes, you know, and in person.
I
And
think
so
he killed the other.
Yeah, that's
he
the
killed
sad
the
part
other
about
guy.
it.
Yeah.
But like the good part, the positive part about it is because of her, it was so much easier to like
Identify and stuff, yeah.
and like, well, at least she kind of stopped it. Not she, but she was really a big important step to stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, I guess we can go to the cases, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, as a true crime podcast, we are. We have the first case about Grace Millane. I hope I spell it right. I think this is one of the most famous cases. I'm not sure, but there's like really cool YouTube video about it, cause CCTV cameras followed this couple a lot, and basically you could see what happened on that day, on that night, on that evening, in some way. So, yeah. Anyway, Grace Millane was born on 2nd December 1996. She was from Wickford, which is in the United Kingdom near London. She had recently graduated. I'm so sorry. From the University of Lincoln with a bachelor's degree in advertising and marketing. She had saved some money and was on a backpacking tour during her gap year because she wanted to travel and explore the world, and that's what she basically did. So she went to South America for 6 weeks. Yeah, for 6 weeks, she spent some time there, made some friends. Then she decided that she wants to go to New Zealand. On the November 20, she traveled to New Zealand. She spent her time on Northern Ireland, and after 10 days, moved to Auckland. She was planning to stay there for 5 days. And on December 1st, she is planning to celebrate her birthday because, as I mentioned before, she was born on December 2nd. So she had an idea that she wants to like meet new people. So the next day, she could celebrate birthday with someone, like, or I don't know, some kind of little party or something. I don't know. And so, yeah, she decided to look for some friends on Tinder. And there she connected with a guy named Jesse Kempson. And so they decided to meet. And it was a Saturday night. Fun time for evening, laughter and conversation with someone. And so as Kempson arrived, the pair recognized each other almost immediately. And he gave her a hug and she smiled and moved towards him. And everything was like super nice. How often you would give a hug to a Tinder person when you like meet him first time?
Hug is fine, I think. That's how a lot of people greet each other anyways. Like even, strangers, right?
I think it could be normal, yeah.
Yeah,
Very
hug,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, kiss. I mean, if you're Italian or French, that's also normal.
Okay, fine, yes. Fine. The first stop was a burger restaurant and bar on the first floor of the adjacent Sky City complex. The entire time together at Sky City was caught on camera, and footage shows them chatting as they go up an escalator to bar, where they order cocktails from a barman and move on a table to talk. At some point, they must have discussed payment, as Kempson makes sure he's the one who uses the card to purchase the drinks. Like, this is, I don't know how important this is, but in this article, yeah, they sometimes mention that he just pays for everything. He's trying to do that thing. And an hour and a half later, they leave the bar and head back outside to another restaurant, less than a block away. It's a Mexican cafe. And after another an hour and a quarter and 2 jugs of margarita and 1 of sangria later, the killer again arranges himself so he can pay the bill. They leave the cafe. And they go to the Blue Stone Room, which was actually the place he went before he went to the Tinder date. And I believe he drank there like 4 beers in half an hour or something.
Preparing,
Don't know if that's impressive.
Is that preparation or is that preparation?
I don't know, but I think
Pre-drink.
but there was like they somehow managed to know the fact that he drank, I think, 4 beers there like really fast. Which has been maybe to kill stress, maybe. I don't know. That's kind of weird, actually, because I think if, like, that gives you some kind of vibe if you meet your Tinder date and he's, like, already drank 4 beers. I think you can see it, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is, I mean, if he was planning, I don't know, I will listen to your story first.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the place where he had been drinking alone earlier. Another camera inside the bar catches them seated at a table after apparently ordering drinks, chatting to doorman, all this thing. At 8:40 p.m., Kempson puts his hand behind Grace's head and pulls it towards him and starts kissing her. They start kissing. Over the next hour, they kiss several more times, only stopping briefly while first Kempson walks out of the camera shot, and Grace checks her phone, and as it turned out, sends her final message to her friend, which was, "I click with him so well." the last message she ever sent to someone, and the message she sent at that moment. Then Grace walks out of the shot and he comes back, and he checks his phone, and he posted on her Facebook page. He wrote beautiful, very, very radiant under Grace's updated profile picture. And this was actually a thing that, like a really important piece that led to police to find him, because like they were like searching for possible suspects, and he just commented on her picture the day she got missing, you know. So that's how they decided, okay, like they didn't maybe thought that he's the one, but they were like, okay, we can test this guy out, basically, you know, because if he feels suspicious.
Imagine just being a random guy just commenting on her pic, like, police come, FBI open up. Just like, I just commented she's pretty, man. Like, don't like kill.
Oh my god. Yeah, soon after 9:30 p.m., the footage shows them leaving and heading to the lobby of the City Lives Hotel. That was the place where the guy was living. They can see the footage of them entering the lift because there was a camera on the lift. And when they exit the lift, this is the last time the CCTV cameras see
Both of them.
Grace. Yeah, both of them. Not both of them, only Grace.
Yeah.
Only Grace. Only Grace. And yeah, and like basically she went missing on the eve before like her birthday. And so basically, if you imagine that like he killed her maybe in a night or evening, then basically he killed her almost at her birthday or maybe at her birthday, which is, I think, just damn. So yeah, exactly what happened in the room after the couple arrived isn't known, apart from the fact that Kempson murdered Grace. That's how it went in one evening. Yeah, I mean, I think they just clicked, I think, a day earlier on December 1st, and like the next day you meet with him. And as you said, kind of weird, goes to, she went to his apartment, you know, which as we mentioned is not really great. And
that's scary, you know, like imagine like sending a last message that things are going really well and then you get killed by this.
Yep.
yeah.
How? Like how?
How they got actually suspicious was like, because the next day was her birthday, and like a lot of people were sending her like a birthday wishes and something like that, but they realized that the messages are not like, they send, but they're not like delivered or something. Like
so
they see
people
that
got-
she's not receiving them.
Yeah.
And so people started to worry about her, and then they started investigation after 2 days, I
So
think.
it was fast, probably, yeah, because it was her birthday and
Yeah,
people
yeah,
reached
yeah,
out. They
yeah.
couldn't reach her. That was maybe lucky to maybe find also this killer then.
Yeah, so what happened after then? Like the aftermath. What is known is that he didn't call anyone and ask for help when she died. There was no call to the emergency services because he was kind of planning out this. Because now, I don't know when he started planning this, before he murdered her or after, but like at this point, he was still preparing the plan what to do next. Because there was there was found on his phone the internet searches which indicate that that he was still planning things. I'm searching for the using his mobile phone, he looked up on the Google for the searches of the hottest fire on the Whitaker Ranges, which is the place where he buried her, large bags near me, and and
Not
Large bags?
so
Large bags?
yeah, large bags near me.
Serious?
Like, not actually the same thing that you will say. It's like not suspicious at all. Like, large bags near me.
How could you have like such a good time with the guy that searches for you?
Well, he searched when she was dead, but you know.
Damn.
And flesh-eating birds. It was one of the catchphrases he was putting on Google. Yeah.
I'm so confused. Okay, yo.
Um,
Eating birds.
yes. Birds.
You know those like birds? I don't know how it's in English.
What
but,
are the vultures?
vultures? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So then the
Eagle.
Nice.
Kind of.
Owls? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, small.
okay, then things get a bit messy up more because
Just now? What? What?
just hear this, okay? Because they trace his phone. The next thing he travels to pornography website called Pornhub for some videos to watch.
What the fuck?
Oh my God.
He then took seven and intimate photographs of Grace's dead body, including close-ups, manipulating her body to get the shots he wanted. So yeah, shortly after he was again caught on CCTV buying a suitcase. It was caught. He went to the shop buy a suitcase. So yeah, he needed a really big bag. He then rented a red Toyota. As Grace was still laying dead in his hotel room, bought some cleaning supplies, and then surprisingly, he didn't went back to the hotel. But he headed out in the afternoon to meet up with the woman at the bar. Like, he had another date the next day. It was like...
Yeah, okay.
There's like a dead body in his apartment, and he like buys cleaning supplies and everything, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna, go do this date, yeah, and then take care of this. And the woman whom she met, a former journalist who can't be named, but who like the killer was 27. Basically, the woman he met, she said about him that he found him very intense, quite calm though. I think, if I'm not mistaken something. Okay, whatever. He then gets back to his room, and about 4:50 p.m. he hired a machine called a rug doctor with the aim of... It's like a cleaning machine, basically. With the aim of cleaning the carpet throughoutly, and telling the shop he got it from... It was to remove a red wine stain. That's the reason why he needed,
Red was the only true part.
Red. Yes, then he parked his rental car outside the hotel, picked up a trolley from reception, this thing where you put bags.
Oh, he pulled...
Went upstairs and returned with the trolley, which was now carrying 2 large suitcases, one of which was the same as the one he bought earlier. He located the case, he loaded the cases into the car and moved it to a nearby car park. So basically, I think he
left it somewhere.
He put her in the bags and he didn't left her somewhere. He buried her later. But throughout the day, the CCTV reveals he changed his clothes repeatedly, and also early the next day at about 6:50 a.m. He is filmed entering the shop and buying a shovel at the store out of the town. Later burying a body.
Shovels near me, large bags near me.
Large bag, shovel.
Flesh-eating birds near me.
not suspicious at all.
What?
So yeah, but seen in camera, like even on the video, like I can post this video. You said we can put that your video on the Facebook that you told about. In this video, like all of these things that I'm mentioning, like you can actually the footage of the cameras are actually put on the video. You can see how he bought the shovel, how he bought the suitcase, how he came with the girl back to the hotel, how they exited the elevator. You can see all of that, and that makes it like even more crazy. And he went to the Waitakere ranges, the places where he buried her, and that's basically how the story ends. And then later he was found and of course put into jail. He's jailed for 17 years, and
Only?
Yeah, for some reason, and with other 2 sentences of 11 years. Apparently, there was, as much as I know, she was not the first one he attacked, and I believe she was not the first one he murdered. So, like, I can't tell you specifically, but I think, well, I'm pretty sure this wasn't the first case he did it. But this case became kind of infamous because it was caught. I think the reason was because it was caught on the CCTV, all of the things that were happening, and therefore he also couldn't lie, because the first time the police went to him, he told that we were together, but at 10 p.m. she left and I don't know where she is. But then like the CCTV footage shows exactly what happened, and he just couldn't lie. Like, you can tell us what you want, but like we see what actually happened. What
actually went down.
Yeah. In that evening, and we see that she entered you exited both the elevator, but you were the only one who came back to the elevator. So. Oh wow, the perfect noise. And I don't know if like sometimes people hear the background noises we have sometimes done, but right now it's some kind of ambulance maybe going nearby us.
City life.
The timing, you know. So
maybe some killers on the loose.
Also, what I wanted to mention about Jesse Kempson, he was born in New Zealand, and his childhood was fragile, as we mentioned before, about these situations. When he was 9 years old, his parents divorced, and his mom moved away to some kind of different place. but he continued to living on the same place he was living. So I guess he was living with his dad maybe or some grandparents. In 2013, he moved out from his home because he was accused of stealing and constantly lying. And so it was safe to say he was actually a pathological liar. And at some point, he was living with some roommates as well somewhere, and the roommates were also like really not kind of scared of him, but like felt weird about him, and because he was like sometimes unstable and sometimes he had some weird thoughts about, and so there was something wrong with him like for a long time, and I think nobody kind of, well, people recognized it, but he kind of didn't went for help. Nobody sent him to get help, and so therefore I think his mind got so much fucked up that he just did what he started to do. Basically, yeah, he did what he did. Yeah. So that's my case.
I'm not sure about the time. Can you check?
I'm gonna check the time.
All right.
You can talk about something.
No.
What's your thoughts so much?
Flesh-eating birds. I am amazed though, yeah, with how do you say, creativity?
In a way,
people
yeah,
are
I
quite
guess.
creative, like not so smart, but quite creative.
Yeah, that's a good way to phrase it, I think. Yeah, like they think of like how to, execute the plan and whatever, but like they forget that like cameras exist. And, like,
Yeah.
so
Wow.
yeah.
How I don't know how to feel about this at all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we can more or less wrap it up. It's 1 hour 23 minutes right now.
Yeah, then it's fine.
Yeah, we had a plan of the other case, but
It's a bit
Another
long.
case.
yeah, we don't like
really.
really long episodes. This
Yeah.
is the time we usually do like hour. I would say hour and a half is like basically
Normal.
Yeah.
normal time we have.
There was
So
a bit
yeah.
more of English and new things happening, and yeah.
So yeah.
What can we learn from
Yeah,
this?
we actually what you don't know, Max, but you know this part kind of.
What you don't know,
There's
but
another part. There's another part coming. Okay.
You know the word reflection, right?
I think yes.
So
Reflex.
what we do, actually what we're trying to do after every single episode, we can try to reflect on it, like to try to understand what was, what could we learn from this story, because we believe that you can always learn from the dark stories as well, not only from the good stories, but from the bad stories. And
Okay,
so
cool.
that's what we usually did and do. And I'm happy I don't need to explain you what it is, because you know what is what is reflection. So yeah, to wrap this episode, like all in all, about let's just say your final thoughts or something like that about this topic.
Who starts?
I guess you can start.
I can start. My final thoughts about this topic. It's crazy people out there. All of us, I guess. And all of us just trying to figure out how to be together and love and meet and do things. And my final thoughts is like I'm happy. I'm trying to find the relationships and friends that I feel safe with, and that my experiences have never been, so scary. And I feel also I can trust a bit that I have enough. Good people around, that I won't get in such a situation.
Yeah.
That's because that seems, that seems sketchy. That seems so scary.
I think.
So
you
I don't know.
never know.
It makes me grateful. It makes me grateful to have my things in my life. And
I think it's still important to be aware all the time. Like, you never know, because in this case also, and when people go to the other people apartments and get murdered, like at the first sight. For the girl, he seemed awesome as well, a good person as well. It's like you never go to someone's apartment and before that be like, he seems shady, but okay, well, I'm gonna still go there. It's like always you think
That's scary movie logic, like like he's super shady, or like this house is like haunted and stuff. Yeah, I think I'm gonna live here. Like this seems good.
like it's always he seems good person, good people.
Yeah, but you
seems
cannot
safe.
see, right? Like that's the thing. You cannot see all the parts that this person when you first meet them. Yeah. I don't know. This for me also this subject. I don't know if I can still share maybe something, but
No,
of course.
Go ahead.
I've also been how do you say, kind of lured in by someone who I thought was a friend one time and got raped, and I think I was drugged as well.
Shit.
And also, you know, this part of how, you know, I've also been thinking about these subjects for a long time because it happened to me, you know, at a very young age, kind of.
Holy
So
crap.
it's, and also for a lot of other women that I know and my mom and whatever. It's really a general topic for me that happens a lot. And I think maybe this is not for everyone so much around, but yeah, I also now look back hearing these stories and looking back at the people that I knew from before, that someone can be so close because I was friends, right, with this person. Someone can be so close and you cannot see what is going on behind the scenes. And I think this is something to just remember and not to be scared of, that there's parts that's from another person that you cannot see. It's just, you don't know everything, and you will not know. And so give yourself some time, right, to get to know, and to get to know yourself and how you feel secure within a relationship with someone. Because you don't know what's going to pop up, not even from yourself sometimes, maybe. And just in general, you know, not going towards more the psycho killer version of this, but in general, I think this is my reflection about it. Yeah, give yourself some time and space to look at your relations in the way you want them to have. Definitely.
I really like this thought, because I think sometimes I have like rushed too early as well, and then things didn't go really well, and that's the reason why I think I was just rushing with the things.
Yeah.
I have to be patient, and in this case as well, like don't rush it. Just like, if like nothing happens in the first time, it's like nothing scary, then you're like, okay, this is good, I guess. I don't know. This is my first thought right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Monta.
Thank you for sharing your story and like your experiences, and just in general, I think the main idea of like, you know, the title of this episode, like Dark Side of Tinder, right? Like sounds scary, like whoa, be scared. But I think the most important thing to remember is to try to stay safe and be careful who you trust. And always make sure that as you mentioned previously as well, somebody knows where you're going, who you're going with, share your location maybe as well. Also, make sure you have a way to identify the person you are like going out with. And also, just be careful in not moving too fast. And, you know, obviously, especially if, you know, he invites you to his place and, you know, you're going to be alone there and, you know, maybe it's secluded. So, just be very careful with that. And, you know, there could be, you know, great people, right? You know, you could have a really genuine, awesome connection with the person and everything turns out great, right? But you know, there are people who just put up a face like that at first, and then, you know, they drop their mask afterwards and you're like, oh shit, what's happening? So just be careful and smart about who you trust and who you'll let yourself be close with. And I think like that's my main takeaway of this. Like I hope that like not everybody's like scared to use Tinder now, like thinking like, you know, I'm gonna swipe my murderer next or something, because I want to like stress these things are not common, obviously. Like we took very, you know, specific examples. But just in general, you know, since this Tinder obviously and, you know, other apps are quite widely used, you know, just be safe, you know, practice, you know, basic internet safety and just, you know, safety in general when meeting people, meeting new, especially strangers. And so that's like kind of my main takeaway. Like nice. Be safe, be safe.
Be safe with people. I'm just now thinking also, it's like to have the kind of the trust and the patience to grow like nice relationships with each other, and not to feel like you need to catch it, right? Or to run after it, or to feel like, because then you feel shit. But
good point. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Water it like a plant.
Let it grow, let it blossom.
Oh, wow. That's really great.
But really, if a connection is worth it, like, then it's gonna be maybe for years, and then why would you need to like get it right in that moment?
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
I don't know.
That's not that animal side of people, no? Who just
Yeah, maybe that's animal side.
no. Yeah, you just put it so good that I don't know what to add. So
Robus is like mesmerized. Like, wow.
like I have so many thoughts in my head right now, but no,
Yeah.
it's like honestly like the things that had my thoughts as well, just like safety, you know, of course, always, because you never know who is behind the phone or something. Things can get real bad. Yeah, and the other thing that you said about kind of giving it time, maybe, because in that way you can see maybe or kind of feel maybe what's behind the scenes, as you say, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, guess more or less this is it. Any final thoughts? Of course, Max, thanks for you for coming to this
Yeah,
episode.
thanks.
Thank you
Having
for
me.
being the first guest in our English episode. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
really
the fact,
enjoy this. So thanks.
the fact is, we actually, when we were planning the second season, we had this idea that we want to do one episode in English.
Yeah.
Like, you know, why not? And and I never actually imagined that it could happen with a guest. I just didn't give so much thought about it. But well, today it happened, and I think it was nice and it
I
was
think
cool.
it's cool. It's fun, and you create something new,
yeah, exactly.
and that's also always awesome.
Yeah.
Creating heroes.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But the other thing which I wanted to also conclude with, since this is our first English episode, so just so you guys are aware, we have Facebook, we have TikTok, we have Gmail. Write us an email if you want, like suggestions. Tell us in the comments if you want more episodes in English. We have Spotify, we have Apple Podcasts, what
Google
else?
Podcasts, YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, we also have YouTube. So yeah, feel free to comment. So either something about this episode, or maybe you have some suggestions about what we can cover in future English episodes, because obviously most of our episodes will still be in Latvian, since we're a Latvian podcast. But definitely let us know what topics would be interesting to you. Obviously, with when we do Latvian episodes, we try to focus more on the Latvian audiences, but we know that a couple of people are listening all over the world. So definitely, let us know your thoughts, opinions. Share your stories. Maybe you have some crazy Tinder stories. Feel free to share down below. Yeah.
At some point we will definitely do
will.
another
Yeah, we'll definitely.
English episode. Yeah,
That would be
but,
awesome.
but right now it's gonna be again a while. Well, there's gonna
sorry
be a new
guys.
episode.
You waited so long for this. It's
Yeah,
gonna be a
like
pause.
we usually try to post one episode in a week, but recently we haven't been that active. Because the life is life.
Yeah,
you know.
Perfect. Life is life. Exactly.
And some people are traveling, some people have some other things to do, and we are not here at the studio or not in the Riga, and just that's how life works. But it's the fact that we are not posting so much, at least for me, it doesn't mean the podcast is over or we are done with it. It's no, for me it's always, maybe we're gonna post it rarely, but the podcast is still gonna run, at least right now I think so.
Yeah.
So sorry about not being so much active, but we are not gone. I can assure you that.
That is not gone.
Whoa.
There. Boom, boom, boom. What is the sound again?
Oh, yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you mean. Oh man, if I knew the button, I don't want to try it. I once pressed every button till I found the right button. And but it's no, I don't want to translate it. I tried to translate it, but I understood now that I can't translate
It
it.
doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't work.
translate.
I mean, it translates, but it doesn't work with the theme,
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's
work.
I don't know, thieves, mysteries, and things you can't something. That's what I can't
basically.
translate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Almost clear.
Almost clear.
Cool,
Well,
thanks.
I will. Whatever.
You show it to me later. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you later. Yeah.
Let's not go into this.
Okay. Yes. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank
Thank
you
you for-
guys for listening. Yeah, as I mentioned, follow us TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, wherever we post. So, and yeah, as I mentioned, feel free to share your thoughts and in the comments. So thank you again for joining us. I think it was really great having this, first English episode, and So
Yeah,
then we'll see you when we see you.
And
See you when you see you.
till the next time.
Bye.
Bye.
English.